I'm going to do the whole one today, I think, in the tubes because Facebook didn't have views, but we got our 50-pound rogue vest on, right? It's 10 a.m., a few minutes into this walk. We'll see how far we can push this one out. I want to try to get a decent amount in today because today isn't as important of a growth day, right? It was lower body stuff. Although I did pull 550 for a triple and then failed the fourth rep with just a belt and chalk and shorts, nothing else. And so we got that done. I'll get the vlog up here in a bit. I haven't voiced over it yet. We did a lot of posterior chain volume, kind of keeping with that trend. I only did 9 sets of the reverse hypers. I couldn't go any further. My low back was shot. But we did 15 total sets for posterior chain today, counting that 550 deadlift. And if I count my axle bar deadlifts, which I felt in there too, even though I only did them with 320, I felt them. But I feel like those axle bar deadlifts combined really with the reverse hypers are what will build my deadlift back up. I need that deadlift back up in the 6s, but I need it with just chalk, right? Even though we're bodybuilding now, we still care about deadlift. Keep it true power building. I might even do my bench the same way, moving forward. One top set of bench and then tons of just bodybuilding pump work. It's like I'm doing lower body stuff. It's been pretty successful. All right, you guys know the rules. Keep it tame, keep it sane. I'm going to be polite and respectful to people, but we need to stay on at least fitness, somewhat related topics. I'm not going to entertain anything else. Yeah, I think moving forward with all these, I'm just going to be super chill, zen, calm, be respectful to people, demand the same in return, all right? And stay informative, all right? We don't even need entertaining. That's not even what I do with this channel. I mean, really, this is about helping people and then obviously building my coaching business off of it. So entertainment really shouldn't even be part of the equation, to be honest, right? Not useful to anybody. So trying to help people reach their goals, whether it's through mindset, whether it's with their training, whether it's with nutrition. Speaking of which, that's what I'm doing, right? We got the weight vest on, all 50 pounds of it, and getting this cardio in. This is going to, again, be one of the keys to getting leaner. I'm going to do more and more stuff talking about metabolic health and all these things because I think these are really relevant topics that we have to have conversations about, particularly as it pertains to body composition, but even overall health. Again, as a society, there's so much that we have to work with there. And I think with a lot of it, I can't always do this to a global audience. I've realized, even for me, from a coaching perspective, most of my best clients are always going to be my U.S. ones because I always make more money on them. I pay less taxes on the money. I don't have transfer fees, and my audience is largely U.S. So I think a lot of what I'm going to discuss with nutrition, metabolic health, it's going to have to pertain to that audience. Even though I know I have a decent size, like UK audience, are literally like 20% of my outreach. A lot of what I talk about for the social end of the nutrition, I think is going to have to pertain to my American audience because that's always going to be my larger audience. It's also where the majority of my clients are coming from these days. So again, know your market. And for me, my target audience really is over age 35. Right? Those are my target clients, my target audience. So I think a lot of what we discuss is gonna go in that direction, helping that demographic. And I don't mind helping the younger guys too. But, a lot of them are not gonna appreciate it till they're older. I get so much of that with the outreach that I do have. People were like, I didn't fully understand what you were saying 10 years ago. And then now that they're in their 30s or 40s, it all clicks more and they realize the value of it, you know. But people who have been following YouTube, there's more and more people now in those age brackets who've been on YouTube's a long time, who have now those more serious fitness goals. They realize the game has changed. But I'm also going to delve more into the general fitness stuff. I think particularly, I have to ride this wave with the Make America Healthy Again because it's a growing movement. And I need to put my contribution into it, both in terms of support and trying to help correct some of the stuff that is incorrect, because not all of it is useful or valuable. And, you know, until we get involved in that and be part of that, it's hard to have a say or to right the ship. But I think that's going to be a big thing. It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive because of what's happening, in the U.S. in terms of politics. And those of us who put out information are going to have to learn how to work within that paradigm. Because again, it's going to affect popular U.S. culture, government policy as it pertains to nutrition and health. And that is a reality. That is a reality. And those who choose to ignore that are not going to be part of what's going on. So, oh man, I haven't got a single comment or question yet. A few of you watching, none of you click like, a bunch of you are watching. Nobody's engaging yet. I'm going to run with this all the way through though, because it will always picks up eventually. So we're just going to run with it. I had to be careful where I walk though. I'm noticing my bars going up and down a little. All right, we got the first like, which means we'll probably get some comments in here. All right. Trying to walk these slightly different streets than I normally do. Trying to change it up. This is a lot more trees over here. Well, it's because of the gully and stuff. We got a coyote problem in the neighborhood over there, and they're living all up in that area. And that's not a bad spot though. Let me go head that way. That'll be cool. That'll be a little bit more nature. Because I'm in the suburbs. I'm not like in the city. So let me head over towards all of that because that's all woods. All right. Hopefully the trees don't block that signal. How many steps you walk? No idea. Literally no idea. I don't use a step. I've never used a step counter in my life. Although I've had coaches who watch this stuff, friends of mine, or coaches and trainers who are into step counts. They're like, your daily walk is exceeding this. This has got to be the 10,000. Right. So I'm probably there. But I do it with a 50-pound weight vest. Okay. So slightly different context for that. So hold on, this is where I'm at right now walking at the moment. What do you guys think? You like my neighborhood? All right. Cool. Well, I've lived in a lot of places. I'm originally from Texas and I'm back in Texas now. No intention of leaving. Not really. I'm walking through that though. That playground is tiny. I'm actually by the swimming pool. So hold on. Swimming pool. That's not really a real playground. There's just a couple swings there. Thoughts on prison workouts. I think that you shouldn't go to prison. There should be no need for prison workouts because you shouldn't be in prison. Why are you going to prison? Okay, that's my entire spiel on the topic. And I think any influencers who are promoting that, getting up talking about prison workouts, are promoting a bad thing. Like, why are you glamorizing that lifestyle? Let's talk. I mean, fitness is also part of mental fitness, spiritual fitness. And if you're people who are doing that, you're clearly not doing those things. right? Right? Would be my advice. Like we shouldn't have to have that conversation. Let's fix our problems in society, and people, we won't need people going to prison. All right, all right. Let's get everybody strong, fit, confident, being good people, and then prison goes away. There we go. Other than a few psychopaths. All right. Same thing. I mean, what do we talk about? I always talk about fitness, avoiding drugs, avoiding alcohol, like recreational drugs. I mean, how many people are in prison because of those things? Like, so if we're leading fitness lifestyles, we're not drinking alcohol, so we don't have then the abuses and problems that come with alcohol. How many people, they had never touched a drink of alcohol in their life, wouldn't have been in prison? So again, let's talk about that. Hey, Jason, one time a week frequency just as good as 2, 3? Yes, absolutely. I look the best I've ever looked in my life doing once. I don't know if you like a cat. Are you asking me if I'm a cat? I should ban you for weird shit like that. All right. Thinking of starting a push pull legs. Yeah, push pull legs is good, even if it's a three time a week program. For start, I have a hard time figuring out. I'm out of my fitness journey. I'm 5', 440 pounds. I'm on new strength charts. So I'm somewhere to an intermediate advance. We'll just keep going. Why do you need to figure out where you are? You know where you are. You know where you are. So what do you need to ask? You just told me where you are. So that's your answer. So keep improving. Is there any benefit to doing 2 times a week? Dan, that is a point of extreme nuance that we could discuss for hours. Um, I don't think that you need to do two. I think once a week works great unless you specifically have a reason to do otherwise. All right. That'd be my advice. You know, man, there's no sidewalk over here. I'm walking all in the dirt. Good thing I got boots on. We got on the boots. There's 1 time a week good for strength too. Why are we separating size and strength at all? What's good for strength, Dan? To get as jacked as possible and to do some heavy work. Now, have I not explained in videos? I've known guys who only train 3 times a week total with their big lifts once a week, who bench over 500 and squat and deadlift 800. So, what do you think the answer is? I mean, it's obvious that you can be an elite world level power lifter doing the big lifts once a week, right? You can literally break all time world records doing it. Look at the Russian guy who was that first guy to squat over 1,000 in reps. He squats once a week. So, what's the answer to your question? The obvious answer. It's a matter of how you're choosing to divide stuff up and have a method to your madness. You know, have you seen Nick Herr's new steroid cycle? Not only have I not seen Nick Herr's new steroid cycle, I literally have no idea who that is. So, since I've never seen Nick Herr's, I definitely haven't seen his steroid cycle. Well, what's in it? And who is he? Is he somebody I should know about? All right. For the heavy work, can we just do a heavy single? I mean, you could, Dan, or you could do some top sets. I mean, there's a lot of ways to approach it. I think a heavy training max before all your pump work can absolutely work. You might get a little more skill work if you do a work set and a little more hypertrophy off of a heavy set off of it. Like, you saw me do with the deadlifts today. He's trying. He's trying to make you say the N word, Yeah, I think that's true. Let's get rid of him. When I was deadlifting twice a week, I was stuck 145 for 8, 6 weeks. Still getting stronger. Dude, deadlifting heavy twice a week, bro, you better really have your programming dialed in on the recovery side. You start talking about deadlifting heavy twice a week, you better be on a really good steroid cycle. You better be sleeping never less than 8 or 9 hours. You know, probably make sure you're eating at least 250, 300 grams of protein, a lot of antioxidants in your diet. Like, sort those things when you start talking about deadlifting twice a week heavy, right? Bump that dose up, man. Don't try to do that natural. All right. How many sets? I noticed your volumes were high and less. Dan, I'm training 5 days a week. I'm doing a ton of, I'm averaging, I don't know how we want to count the sets. Am I counting all compounds towards movements? You know, because I did 15 sets of chest compounds yesterday. They all work triceps, and then I did 15 sets of direct tricep work afterwards. Probably what I'm going to be doing, you'll see back in bicep, I'm going to hammer. I'm probably only going to do 9 or 10 sets for last, but then I'm going to do 15 to 20 sets for biceps afterwards. My chest is sore today, yes. But keeping in mind what I'm doing now is extreme. I haven't historically ran these sort of volumes. I'm taking stuff up to the next tier, and I've done a fair amount of even like 6, got strong doing 6 sets a week, and now I'm just ramping it up to go along with all the cardio and focusing on getting leaner, recombing. Any advice for stopping binge eating at night? Protein feed. Protein overloading. Don't have any of your binge foods in the house. When you feel a binge coming on, that's what I prescribe to clients. Always have at least 500 grams of protein immediately ready in the form of Greek yogurt, cooked meat, shakes. So anytime you feel a binge eat come on, force down 100 grams of protein immediately. Immediately. Don't even hesitate, and that will stop your binge with something that will not cause you to gain any body fat. It will shut the binge down every time. Okay, cool. I'm starting at 6 sets per week, push pull legs and running starting strength. So fatigue and joint issues. Yeah, starting strength will eventually beat you up. You can't squat heavy 3 times a week past the novice phase. This is why exactly only deadlift once a week. Yep. Yeah, deadlifting once a week is perfectly fine. I mean, even if you want to lead deadlift, perfectly fine. And then use hypertrophy work to build the posterior chain up. It'll be good. Okay. I'm going to keep walking through the woody area. Although I do like when I have sidewalk. I walked over through the area that didn't. There's only so much sidewalk over here, though, and it's only by this other stuff. But this is a nice area to walk. Plus, I'm out of the direct sun to the same extent. Here's how Coach be looking. Not looking quite as tight today. After upper body days, I always look less tight up top the next day. I always do. This is what it is. I accept that. As long as we're looking good for shoulder day tomorrow, though. That's what matters. Look good for the camera tomorrow. All right. Pretty good fit to doing the pump work. It sets at 5 to 12. Nope. Yeah, the benefit, you want to destroy your joints. That's if you decide that you don't want your joints anymore. I would highly recommend you do it that way. There's no benefit, though. I mean, honestly, I don't see the point of doing 5s or 6s on anything but big barbell movements. Hey, a bench press, a deadlift, squat. I don't think you should be doing 5s with dumbbells. 5s or 6s generally, even with dumbbell work or isolation work or any of that. Again, unless you just want to hurt yourself. So why would you do it? Are you really chasing neural drive that much on a dumbbell press? That's why we have barbells. I mean, you really need to do that on a dumbbell curl. Yeah, I mean, that works great too. Do training maxes in the 10 to 20s. It's a totally viable approach. All right, that's a very viable power building approach. You get strong and you'll look good. All right, works. That works. I'm doing less training maxes and just more of the top sets though myself at the moment because I don't really need the heavy singles right now. I'm going to power lift for a bit, and it'll all carry over. You know, I get a heavy set of 3 to 6 reps on a big lift. That will still carry over for me as long as I keep getting thicker. My maxes will still be good when I test them. That's a very, very rational, reasonable approach. Okay. If other people have comments, it's been mostly the dance show. Only training twice a week. Would you recommend full body or upper lower in that case, I guess? Um, Full body does not work unless you're a novice. Quit letting people tell you to do it. This is something I've realized over the decades, eventually, looking at the science, looking at the experience. Um, Full body outside of the novice phase is a good way to just get less good development. It's a great way to just reduce your gains because you just can't sustain the peripheral nervous system output into those later muscle groups on a full body once you're strong. If you're a novice, you can get away with it. If you squat 250, it's fine. But when you start building up a strength base, you're not going to be able to recruit the muscle fibers effectively in the later muscles you're doing. So you're going to shortchange their growth. And then people do the silly stuff of, well, I could switch them. So then you shortchange the other muscles. So something gets shortchanged. Why not just split it up at that point? So I would do upper lower then. You can only train twice a week. All right. Unless you're a complete novice. You know, I mean, if you bench one plate aside, okay, totally do full body. But if you're not a novice anymore, at least do the upper lower. I don't see why you can't get in 3 days though. Think about it. You could at least you do a push pull leg 3 days a week. You can squeeze 3 workouts in. You just have to want it. I don't care how busy you are, you can get 3 workouts in. So we kind of come back to if it's like, but why are you doing that to yourself? You trust me, unless you work 100 hours a week, you can get to the gym 3 times a week. Okay. I get it if you work, 712s, 714s. Okay. I got a guy who does that though. We still train 3 days a week. He does 712s. We still get in a 3-day. We have a squat bench deadlift day with some pump work after. He works 7 12-hour shifts a week. All right. So again, it's doable. You just have to want it. You have to prioritize, Benjamin. I believe in you. All right, I believe in you. You can do it. Hold on, I gotta check something. Check important messages. Okay, we're good. Okay, stick in this woody area for just a little longer. I kind of like this. This is nice. All right, this is nice. Exactly. Good point. Walking in the rocks. Walking in the rocks. So, more people watching now. Let's get a little more comments before I get ready to wind this down, because I'm already 30 minutes into my cardio for the day. Man, I got to come through here more often. Like this is really pleasant. This is a lot more pleasant even for the vest. Look at all that. What y'all think? Isn't this better scenery? Are you guys enjoying it more? Right? Are you guys enjoying it as much as I am? That's what I want to know. Sometimes it's nice to get out in some trees. Getting in the trees. Getting in the trees. Man. Would eating 150 grams of spinach a day be? I I don't know. Maybe that's a lot of spinach, dude. That's a 1.5 kilogram. That's a lot. Can you stomach that much? I mean, I don't think it's a problem. I mean, the nutrition would be phenomenal on it, right? Think about that vitamin K. I mean, people are talking about vitamin K load for possible atherosclerosis and stuff and supplementation. Man, imagine how much vitamin K you'd get from a kilo of spinach a day. All that good fiber. Man, your gut health would probably be on point as long as you can handle it. You might have to cook a lot of it. I mean, yeah, dude. No, I mean, if you can handle, I mean, even what you're eating it close to a kilogram of spinach, that's pretty solid, right? Dude, you're making me want to up my spinach intake. Like, I'm gonna have some in a bit. I need to be buying bigger containers. That's what I need to do. Right? I'm gonna put some in my eggs here today, here shortly. In fact, I'm gonna cook that as soon as we get done with this cardio session. Exactly what we're gonna do. But are you guys enjoying this naturey walk a little more than up and down my regular streets? Because this is super close. This is literally just a couple minutes from me. I just don't walk through here enough. Picky with veggies. I don't get much of them, but broccoli. But you're picky, but those are two of the best ones. Like those are way up there in terms of nutrition value. Those are pretty much superfoods. Right? They make you get chesticles like this with enough protein. Do rear delt flies work? The medial head almost. I don't know. You know, we could argue about that all day long. We could argue about the data. Do they work it? Yes. Is it going to be as effectively as a lateral? I'm going to say probably not. Like if you're trying to maximize it, you do need laterals or upright rows. Let's be honest about that. Hey, let's not BS ourselves about that fact. Okay, let's be extremely clear. But do they contribute to it? Yes. Yes. But if you really want the rounder delt, something I'm working on too, I would do both upright rows and laterals. Go ahead and hit it from two angles, man. Wouldn't be a bad thing. All right. Be super effective. All right. Just pump the hell out of it. Are you doing keto? Um, I mean, I guess I'm doing. It technically would be keto because my carbs are that low at this point, but I'm not doing it chasing keto and I'm not doing garbage fat. So it's not, I mean, because I eat a lot of healthy fat and a lot of vegetables. But would I probably be in ketosis at this point? Yes, but I'm not doing it specifically because it's keto. Um, how long is your fast? A fasting's probably 18 hours roughly a day. Ballpark, I do an 18.6. That's not pinned down to the hour though. I'm flexible in that, right? We're flexible in that. But yes, to answer your questions, I am not specifically doing keto because I don't think it's particularly valuable or important to do keto. Like, I think it's rather pointless, honestly, for me at least. But would I be in ketosis most of the time because of the way I'm eating at this point? Again, the answer is yeah, I would be. Um, but my concern when people start throwing that keto label, it's almost an excuse for people to eat garbage, like butter and bacon and all that nasty crap you shouldn't be eating, um, and to cut their vegetables back. And I'm over here hammering down avocados and spinach like they're candy. You know, like I'd love anyone who's going to do a low carb diet like that. I would love to see 2 avocados a day in their diet. You think drinking coffee before your morning? I drink coffee every morning, even if I'm sick and not going to get out of bed. I drink morning coffee every day of the week, 7 days a week. Christmas, Easter, my birthday, Jesus's birthday, your birthday, any day that ends in a Y, I drink coffee in the morning. It's a general rule. That's my rule. So if there's a Y at the end of the day, I'm going to drink coffee. I don't base it on if my morning cardio. I don't base it on my training. I base it on, is it early in the morning and the sun is about to come up? And is there a Y at the end of the day? How you're doing? Looking great, pretty lean. Thank you for coming along. Appreciate the support. All right. Move out of that nature area. I got to remember to get back, how to get back to my house. Where do I live at? Where do I live? Help me here. All right. No, I'm really close, dude. It's literally less than a 5-minute walk from my house to that woods with all those yotes, the coyote problem over there. They've been eating people's pets, unfortunately. You can't really do a lot about it. Like I can't be in there hunting. You can't really go do anything because there's too many houses in the neighborhood. So it's too risky. So you kind of just have to hope the city will come out here and eventually do something about it. You know. All right. This has been pretty good. We're about 40 minutes. Good 40 minutes in. Close to. Thoughts on that guy. Hey, Patty, I've done multiple lives already. Just type in Jeff Nippard's name into a search engine or the mic bank. So just type those into a search engine. You can hear me talk about it for 30 minutes. I've given large amounts of thoughts. All right. And I don't think there's any divergent thoughts. I don't think my thoughts are different from anyone else's. Right? Common sense, any reasonably decent human being, like you don't even have to be a good person, just a decent human being is going to say that guy is wrong. Right? I mean, there's a point where there's no further discussion. I don't run. I'm not going to run in my 50-pound vest, dude. I'm about to be 48. I would like to keep my knees. But yeah, Patty, I mean, is there really a discussion to be had? A man assaulted another man because he didn't like his opinion about training. Literally assaulted him. There's no discussion to have. Anyone who wants to have a real discussion is probably a terrible human being because that is a very clear-cut case of right and wrong. And you only a person who's a psychopath could even come up with, well, maybe the guy was justified. No. If a person could even have that train of thought with that situation, they're a psychopath. Right? I mean, how else can we even discuss it? I mean, that's just a clear cut right and wrong. It's very, very cut and dry. Assaulting someone for having a different opinion of training than you. I mean, that's you know, that's pretty crazy. You know, I mean, I would say that's not just morally wrong. That's probably a sign of craziness, something happening with that guy on like a dark triad personality stuff. You know, that's just, or a substance abuse problem. Like there's something going on there. You don't just do that. How long after your fasted cardio? Um, I cook a meal and then eat. So, you know, usually within 10 minutes or so of the cardio. Not the, well, on days like this, on the weekends, it's hours after, right? Does standing burn more calories than sitting? Sure. But standing burns so few calories that really making that your focus is a misallocation of resources, right? You know, it's kind of like if Benjamin, here's a context for way I would put that. That would be like, let's say um, you had a choice at a job for the for amount of work you were going to do, and one of those paid $5 an hour, and you compared it to something that pays 5.50 sitting versus standing, but then you had something else that could pay you $20 an hour, and something else that could pay you $30 an hour. Would you really be standing around debating the $5 versus the 5.50? See what I mean? I mean, you don't burn that many calories standing. Try walking. Man, that destroys both of them. I mean, before we even get into anything intense, man, go walk for 10 minutes versus stand for 10 minutes. You'll burn 3 times as many calories, you know. So you might burn an extra 5 calories by standing for an hour versus sitting. Does it really matter? So that's how I would answer that, pragmatically. Muscle burns calories. Yeah, dude, you want to burn more calories than standing, gain some muscle. I'll do it. Then you'll burn calories sleeping. You gain a bunch of muscle, you'll burn more calories sleeping than you do standing. Straight facts right there. All right. I think it's about time to wind this down. Burn calories at the movies. That's right, burn calories everywhere. All right, guys. You guys want more chesticle shot? See how Coach be looking? All right. How Coach be looking? What do you guys think? Teddy Flex. We're going to wind it down back home. So I'll talk to you guys next time.